Leah Lando is in New York City tonight, where the holiday tradition this year will look and sound a little different, Leah.
That's right, Natasha. Good evening. Good evening to all of you. If you've been here over the holidays, you've likely seen this pretty much everywhere you look. People dressed as Santa Claus wandering the streets of Manhattan for that tradition, SantaCon.
Merry Christmas!
It's essentially a massive bar crawl / flash mob organized every year between Thanksgiving and Christmas. The SantaConners decked out head to toe in Santa suits, all in the name of charity, or so they thought. Tonight, this man is under arrest. Some would say a real-life Grinch if the charges against him are true. Stefan Pildes organized SantaCon in New York City for years, raising nearly $3 million intended for neighborhood improvement projects. Investigators tonight say instead he used some of that money to improve his own life, skimming more than half of that charity money into a personal slush fund. He allegedly paid for high-end vacations, an upscale Manhattan apartment, a luxury vehicle, and renovations to his lakefront home in New Jersey. SantaCon draws tens of thousands of Christmas partiers to the city, all of them believing they're doing more than just bar crawling, that they were helping a good cause. But federal prosecutors say SantaCon merrymakers are the victims of wire fraud, and Stefan Pildes tonight, #1 on their naughty list. And officials say he is facing a federal wire fraud charge. If convicted, he could face up to 20 years in prison. Natasha.
And Leah, meanwhile, this SantaCon organizer, not the only person in trouble tonight, accused of scamming money. There is such an interesting story going on. A former Alabama Crimson Tide football player accused of scamming players in the NFL. What are we learning about that?
A lot of you diehard college football fans, you might recognize this name and face. Take a look. We're talking about the player Luther Davis. He was a member of the national champion Alabama Crimson Tide squad. That was back in 2009. So he was a standout defensive lineman. But tonight, federal investigators are charging Luther Davis with aggravated identity theft, conspiracy to commit wire fraud. They say he and another man fooled more than a dozen lending institutions into giving them loans, totaling nearly, get this, $20 million, they say. Davis and his accomplice allegedly pretending to be NFL players when applying for loans using fake IDs, financial statements, emails, and officials say they went so far as to wear wigs in disguises when they had to show up in person for this. And according to the federal indictment, Davis impersonated Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr., Cleveland Browns tight end Davis Njoku, and Green Bay's Xavier McKinney. The indictment says that none of those players had any idea that this was going on. And Luther Davis, we're told, is due in court later this month. So something else we'll continue to follow. Natasha.
I appreciate you tracking that. Leah Lando live in New York City with that. Thank you.